Tonight, there is still no ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. Both sides left Egypt today without an agreement, and it's not clear when talks will resume.
This is happening at the same time as President Joe Biden is sharply criticizing Israel. ABC's Perry Russum has you covered on what the president is saying.
Ceasefire talks once again breaking down between Israel and Hamas. A senior Israeli official telling ABC News Israel will operate in Rafah even if a deal is made. It comes after President Biden says the U.S. will not give Israel weapons to attack Rafah. Biden on CNN.
We're not going to supply the weapons and the artillery shells used.
It's Biden's sharpest criticism of Israel since their war started, matched with the U.S. pausing a shipment of large bombs yesterday. Today, in response, Netanyahu says nothing will stop Israel from defending itself. Senate Republicans pushing back on Biden.
The last thing that we need is a president who waffles on his support to Israel. So much for that ironclad support.
The pause in the delivery of large bombs comes 2 weeks after Biden signed the national security package, sending in part $14 billion to Israel. The White House says it's against any major operation in Rafah that puts the lives of civilians at risk. According to the UN, in the last 3 days, about 80,000 people have evacuated Rafah. Israel set up a humanitarian camp for refugees, but there is still a struggle to find shelter. This woman says, there is no place for us. No one is taking us in. No one is receiving us. National Security spokesman John Kirby says the vast majority of weapons are still being sent to Israel, but Biden does not want certain types of weapons to be used. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Like you just heard, the United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees estimates nearly 79,000 people have fled Rafah since Monday. That's when Israel's military ordered people to, quote, evacuate immediately as the military launched strikes on the city. Listen to how an aid worker who's in Gaza now describes his interaction with a family that's fleeing.
The elder gentleman told me he would rather go back to his destroyed house in Khan Yunis than stay in Rafah. And as he was talking to me, he just broke down and started sobbing, John. And the whole situation deteriorated. The kids started crying. Then the kids started pleading with me, make it stop, make it stop. This is the sort of situation that people are in. It's really, really tragic.